frame of the chair done, the next part is to make the curved pieces that form the seat and the back of the chair. And the way that we'll do that is the same way that we made the other curved pieces. We'll cut a whole bunch of thin strips, run them through the drum sander to get them smooth and consistent, lay them out, glue them up, put them on the bending form and clamp them down. But before I start cutting these into thin strips, I just want to talk very briefly about how I came up with the shape for the seat and the back pieces.
As I've mentioned, I got the idea for this chair from a photo, and from the photo I could get a rough idea of the shape of this curved arm piece and the shape of this rear leg, and I could play around with those parts until I got pieces that looked good to me visually. And then, as we've seen, it became a matter of figuring out how to put all this together. But with the curved seat pieces and the curved back pieces, it's more than just a matter of aesthetics. We certainly want the pieces to look nice, but if you recall, these rails on the rear legs and the rails going up the back, they're angled in. And so the curved pieces that we're going to make, the radius of those curves needs to be accurate so that the pieces sit in here accurately and securely, so that you can attach these parts and they remain stable. And so the way that I figured out what the radius of that curve needed to be, this is a drawing bow, and a drawing bow is just a piece of fiberglass with an adjustable strap on the back, and you adjust the strap, and as you adjust the strap you get a curve with a different radius. And so what I did was I took the drawing bow, and I've already adjusted it here, but I put it on the rails, I adjusted it until I got a curve of the exact accurate radius for these parts, and then I took the drawing bow and I just used this as a template to make the bending form that we use to make these parts. So that's how I figured that out. So now let's go make some chair parts.
All right, if you're saying to yourself, hey, he's got a pretty big stack of wood strips there, you'd be correct. But it does take this many to make the pieces for the seat and the back of the chair. Specifically, I've got to make 8 separate pieces using the bending form, and each one of those pieces takes 5 of these, so you can do that math. I've got 44 pieces here. You always need a couple extra. There's always 1 or 2 that crack or somehow are unusable. And just like with the curved arm pieces, the next thing to do is to take these over to the drum sander and get them sanded down smooth and consistent, so we can then glue them up and get them in this bending form. All right, we've got our strips sanded down smooth and consistent, ready to start gluing these up and getting them into the bending form and making the parts that we need to make the seat and the back for this chair. All right, these glue ups are a little bit easier. There are fewer pieces in each glue up, and they're smaller, they're shorter, but the process is the same. Got 5 pieces in each of these glue ups. We get them glued up, which you'll see in a minute. Get them stacked up, get them on the bending form. The bending form has got packing tape here so that if glue gets on there, it doesn't stick to these pieces. So you get those in there. Got several pieces of hardboard that go behind them. This front piece is also covered with packing tape for the same reason, so that it doesn't stick to the piece if glue were to get on there. Then there's this funky looking piece, which is designed to help spread the clamping pressure throughout the width of the glue up. And then there's another piece of hardboard with some sandpaper on there, which helps the clamps to grip on there and not slip around. And once you get all that stacked up, just like before, then you just start clamping it down. And as we'll see in a minute, you clamp it across the width of the glue up, and it takes the shape of the bending form and makes your part. All right, we're ready to start this glue up. If you recall, when we did the glue up for the front leg piece, you didn't get to see the part where I spread the glue out. And as I mentioned before, that was simply because I just didn't have time to spread the glue out, move the camera, and show you the clamping up process. That glue up takes such a long time because there's so many pieces and they're so large that it's really a struggle to get everything glued up and stacked and clamped up in the bending form before the glue starts to set. Don't really have that problem here. I mean, I've got to move quickly, but there should be plenty of time to show you the glue up, or show you how we go about spreading the glue, and then move the camera real quickly and show you the clamping process. So let's get started. And this starts with, we've got 4 of the 5 pieces taped down here. The 5th one is sitting over here. We put on it at the end. It doesn't get any glue spread on it. I just tape down the edges so that as I spread the glue, these pieces don't move around.
All right, we've got the first seat piece glued and clamped up in the bending form. We need to let that sit for about a week. So when we check in next time, we'll take that piece out of the bending form and we will make the big curved piece that sits at the front edge of the seat. And then we'll make the rest of the seat and back pieces and get those attached. And we'll be just about done with this project. As always, thanks for watching. Got any questions or comments, throw them in the comment section, shoot me an email, hit me up on Facebook. If you're enjoying this or curious what we're going to come out with next, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Thanks again.